Oh, shit. Yeah, no, that's fine. This I don't need though. This should be set. Because the background... Oh, I guess not. So let me extract this. And then this main menu overlay. Okay. Bring that up here. Okay. All right. Let's think about this again. The buttons. Background. Was using 5. Okay. That's interesting. Let's do this a little bit. Here's how they got this to not stretch. Because on mine it looks stretched. Like, I don't know if you guys can see this, but here, this looks normal thickness, like compared to the top. But on mine, the top looks thinner than the side. And I'm really curious as to why. Nope. Really curious as to why. Also curious as to why I have a background now. Does it have to override the background? Yeah. Let's do... Get this color again. 204. Copy. So when we mouse over 204, let's see. Hit preview. I mean, that doesn't look terrible. What font are they using? Because I think I like the font in this font. What is this font? Input action. Label response is the Grenzy. Okay, 48. What is the height of this button? Like 150 pixels? Okay. And they have a little bit of a gap there. So let's go back to here. Do spacing. Okay. And then I think that is the font I'm using. Okay, hover. Okay. Let's save. Close this. I'm going to go back to our samples. Hey, Dub. I set this up. It's funny. Okay. We can get rid of this. Remove. And then we have to add our own UI script for the main menu, overlays. Let's open like crafting, I guess. Close all tabs. main menu overlay. Wait, what? Oh no, I did. A menu overlay. There we go. All right, so we have that. Button event handler. On button. UI hover. Hover. UI click. So what are ones where I bind to things? So awake. I'm going to do something like this, which means I need a button event handler. Okay. I need this function. Go back to the dialog. Set visual elements. This is where we get the elements. So I need to get all the buttons. So private button, which is UI elements button. We have the play game button, private button, how to play button. We have the credits button, thank you Copilot, and we have the options, but I called it settings. Settings button. So in here, we're going to say we're going to let Copilot fill this in for us. Now, this is getting by a CSS. So I have to double check in my menu that those are correct. And I'm going to move those up to non-magic strings in a second. But if I go back to UI, overlays, main menu overlay. Oops, that's the CSS file. Main menu overlay. So yes, my buttons are named by class. Play game. My phone's not charging. So we have the play game, the how to play, the settings, and the credits. This is all correct, but I'm going to move these. Introduce constant. And we'll call this CSS class play game button. Kind of like I did over here. Oh, USS class dialog options. Sorry. USS. So I can like this. Move this to a constant. USS class how to play button. Okay, and then we can do the same here. For those of you wondering, we're doing some UI stuff. In Visual Studio, if you do Control P, you get the menu, and then you can pick. So I'm going to introduce a constant for the settings button string, USS class settings button. And actually, I'm going to let Copilot do this. And then I can get rid of this. USS credits. Okay, then I'm going to add another function. Which if we go to the inventory overlay, oh no, I didn't do the inventory overlay yet. Clean those up. Select naming. I usually like to, do like add or set callbacks. Private. What do I typically call it? Just turn this over here for a second. Come on. Ah. File, open. Just opening up an old project where I kind of done this already. Unity. That's game. Scripts. So this is another Unity project that I'm working on. And I call it register button callbacks, I think. Yeah. Typically like to follow the same kind of structure in all my projects. So if I've done something in the past, I do this. All right. So here we want to say if play button does not equal null. Play button clicked. Play button clicked. Register button callbacks, yeah. Register button callbacks. It's register callback. Click event. And then we can do this, or we can call a function. I'm just going to do on play game clicked. Oh my goodness! And this is a function. Then we can also say if yeah. So we're going to hand off the playing of the sounds to our button event handler. Which actually, if I go to the dialog overlay, I do this. And I think I want to do it the same way because I have it where it also handles the click. So I think what I'll have to do is create a private void setup button callbacks. And we're going to pass in the button. button. And we're going to set up the main callback, which is an action, and this is the main callback. Okay. So then, what we want to do is we want to say, well, first of all, if the button is not equal null, let's just safety check, return. And then we're going to say, first we're going to register the callback. And it's already, Copilot already figured out what I wanted to do, which is awesome. Basically, we're going to check if the event handler is present. If it is, we'll call that. That will trigger the click. And then we're going to call our callback function, which actually I think we want to do callback.invoke. And then we also want to register the additional on enter and on exit. That's the hover and the unfocus separately. And we're doing it this way because the button event handler may not exist on the class. That's something that like I've done additionally. I can't really think of a better way to do it this way. So now this can be this. And we can delete this, all this, and we can say, yep, there we go. It's already, Copilot, it's already figured it out. So we're going to do generate that method, generate that method. Oh, nope. I don't know what happened there. Come on. Not sure what I clicked on by accident. I did extract method, I think. Okay. Let's just organize this a little bit. We have this, register, on. Okay. We don't need these throws. Nice and clean. So for now, we'll just debug. Didn't pick the right one. Keeps doing that. Not system diagnostics. Using Unity Engine. Thank you. Keeps picking system diagnostics. Credits button clicked. Settings buttons clicked. How to play clicked. Play button clicked. OCD. Can't help myself. Have to have them in alphabetical order. Okay. So this should be good. Now, we want to test this menu. So what's going to happen is all our UI is going to get, there should be a setting like for using where you can have it automatically order the method. That would be, I probably could write a macro or with AI, just be like, hey, AI, can you do this for me? Okay, so all my menus register with the overlay service automatically, and they hide themselves. Then when the game starts, I think I've hidden something for now in the player. I think it's in the first-person controller. There's some place where I basically start my game as like a temporary place because I didn't have a better place to put it, and I don't remember where it is. I thought it was here. I thought there was like a start method that I was like, oh, I'm just gonna leave it here for now. But we should probably put something more formal in place. Eventually, I'm gonna have scenes. Like right now, everything's in one scene. Oh, maybe I moved it to the audio manager. No. Although, where does the... This is where the background music kicks off automatically. Background music. Snuck that in there. I'm trying to remember where I have it. It's like where the... Oh, you know what I should look for? I should go to input. So scripts, input, services, input service. And then I should find where I enable... I enabled the... Maybe it's actually in the gameplay handler. Yeah, here it is. So this little thing is like my initialization code. It shouldn't be here, really. It should be somewhere else. So let's do that. Let's have a... How should we do this? Let's create a game manager. Why not? That's like a common thing people do all the time. So we'll call this game manager. Okay. And actually, we're gonna do some more stuff after this. So let's add a new object to the scene and call this game manager. Actually, yeah. Game manager, okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to take, first thing is we're going to take our little cheat code out of the player and move it to our game manager. Space, gameplay. And we're going to make sure it works. We need using system, I think, for that. System collections, I think. Yeah. Okay. Then we can go back to here and we can just clean that up. Don't need that there. All right, so nothing should have changed. Everything should be working the same. I'm a backend developer for web services. So I do like, I mostly work on search too. So it's like, if there's a bunch of data, there's like a data repository that people need access to at my job. And I basically create a pipeline. So I create backend jobs that aggregate all bunch of data from upstream into a database, and I clean it all up. I have jobs that like sanitize data, clean it up, consolidate it, do matching between various systems. And I store that all in the database, and then I put it into, I use Apache Solr as my search index. So I flatten out the documents, I put that in Apache Solr, and then I have an API that other people can hit, and that translates, it's like a REST API that people translate into Solr queries that then reach into Solr and pull out the data that they need, kind of like a big search index that they can query against. All right, so everything looks good here. All right, everything looks good. So now, instead, we're actually going to create another public method here. Public method. Actually, let's leave it as private for now. Private void start gameplay. And it already kind of figured out what I was trying to do. We're going to hide the main menu. We're going to enable the player input. But over here, we don't need, I don't think we need this to be an enumerator anymore. We're going to, oops, I think I figured it out. Yes, it did. We're going to player gameplay input handler, but we're going to disable this just to make sure, disable, that you can't run around while the menu's there.